Okay, Noreen, you are now the host and take it away.
Great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time and assistance.
You are welcome.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Public Health and Safety Committee meeting. It is Wednesday, June 9th, 7:06, and I'd like to call the meeting to order, and we'd like to begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Right. Okay, so next item on the agenda is roll call. Alderman Balamasi.
Present.
Alderman Simons.
Present.
Alderman McGorty. Present. Next item is public portion. I'm just going to check here. It doesn't look like anybody else is on.
John J. Gator.
Awesome.
Join the meeting.
Hi, John.
Hello.
Thank you for joining. You are perfect timing. Don't worry. We waited. We understand. No worries. Welcome to the meeting.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So I
Can
understand.
get, spelling and an address, please.
My address,
Yes, please.
26 Winchester Drive, Shelton.
Great. And can you spell your last name, please?
It's Gator. G as in George, A, Y, D as in dog, A.
Fantastic. That can get you for posterity here. Thank you.
So, John, I understand you're here to speak on an agenda item. So what I'd like to do, rather than have you speak during public portion, have you speak at the specific item on the agenda. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So we're going to move forward with the, there is nobody else on the Zoom call from the public. So I'm going to close public portion. The next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes.
Move to waive the reading and approve the minutes of the special virtual public health and safety meeting of March 3rd, 2021.
Motion made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Are there any opposed? Motion carries. Great. We move on to new business.
Yeah.
2.1, speeding on River Road.
Move to authorize the traffic division to investigate and address the speeding on River Road.
Morning, everybody.
Motion made. Oh, hold on a second. Lieutenant, one second.
Okay.
Yep. Motion made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? Okay, discussion. Lieutenant, it's all you.
All right. Lieutenant Yurzak here with Shelton PD Traffic Division. I'm filling in for Sergeant Slinger tonight. The agenda item 2.1 with speeding on River Road. It appeared kind of vague. As everyone knows, River Road is several miles long, but we did look in our in-house system specifically for additional crashes or different complaints that might have come in, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary compared to even previous years. So just kind of wanted to put on the record that River Road is a very, very highly traveled and patrolled area between the rinks, us responding to calls in Pine Rock Park, the various businesses on River Road, the condos. We do have our evening and midnight shifts. You've probably seen them around town with their cruise lights on. That's specific so that the public sees the police out and about in the areas. That's also to hope to deter the speeding where you see the officers present and slow down. And the other big issue that people might not be aware of with the school systems, our traffic division is the one that primarily has been doing the school traffic in the morning and obviously in the evening when schools are let out. And so that takes up a good majority of the prime time where we're also would be like to do the speed enforcement. So now that the schools are coming closer to an end, we can now concentrate a little more on actual speed enforcement because we won't be using our resources at the schools themselves during those prime hours.
Lieutenant, this is Chris Bellamasi, and the third ward I oversee with John Anglis, and I appreciate Mr. Wood's concerns and Mr. That sent us something, as well as Mr. Gata that's present on the phone. One concern I have, I travel that road almost every day, and I know at night the speeding does seem to be excessive and it's very dark, and I know it's a state road. Mm-hmm. And I believe Sergeant Mark had, he was addressing some of the things. So I think, weren't there some things still pending with regard to the state? They had indicated there was no outliers, et cetera, but I thought we were going to readdress things with the state.
Look at the minutes.
I know the state had at one time said they didn't see any sufficient uptick of any concern, but we have a lot of people that still voice their concerns.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that in addition to basic speeding concerns, there definitely wasn't any recommendations from the state based on reports to add anything in relation with more signs or more lights or more lighting. And none of that was brought forward as a suggestion that the city would have needed to make based on raw data that they looked at.
So what is your suggestion regarding the how do we get back to him? What should we say to him? His concern is legitimate, and it's been a while since he listed this concern.
Right.
What is your suggestion on how to respond?
Well, as I kind of alluded to, basically now that the school is out, the traffic division itself can take a more proactive role in addressing speed enforcement with our actual radar units and laser units. Our speed boxes, we have 6 of them. One of them is actually on Long Hill Avenue, still addressing that area of town because that was another area of concern.
Yeah.
School zones speeding. So now we could actually move those speed boxes to the main purpose of the speed boxes is so we could actually get the data of the time of day and the when the actual speeding is happening. This way, we don't want to be out there, let's say at 2 in the afternoon when primarily, let's say all the speeders are at 10 a.m. We want to be there when it's happening. So a good thing if whoever the complainant was, do they have a specific area of River Road that maybe we can concentrate on? And
he basically just said the south end. That's all.
He said the south end, and then he said
diner to Pine Rock.
The diner to the Pine Rock, which I agree with. That area is where, and I feel weekends and Thursday and Friday nights, between 7 and 11 p.m., I feel like people drive like crazy, very fast, very careless, passing people when they're not supposed to, and things like that.
Well, I do agree with that. I've been on that road and people have passed me flying, and I was doing the speed limit and I was like standing still. So it is bad.
All right,
well, so I think, Lieutenant, I think your advice is let's keep, you guys are gonna monitor it. You're gonna get out there. You're gonna put the box out there. And I think that we'll just look for a new report at the next meeting to see, since school is out, maybe we could talk about this in a month from now. Do you agree, Lieutenant?
Like, now that the school's going to be out, we could definitely even show more statistics over the next
Right.
month, showing that we're actually going to have more traffic stops, and we could even put it out to our patrol, that car too, that when they're not on a call, that maybe we could have them primarily stationed near South Park, or maybe even sometimes near the rinks or on some of the straightaways
Sure.
during these specific hours between 7 and 11 p.m.
I think that's a good plan. Yeah.
Yep.
Is there any other discussion? Any other discussion?
Can we interject the same thing goes for Route 110? Is that anything that can be done there also? Because that's another racetrack.
Where specifically? River Road is Route 110. So Route 110 for Shelton purposes goes all the way from the Stratford line all the way to Monroe. So it's it could be maybe even 12 miles. I don't have it mapped out, but Route 110 is a long stretch.
The way I can answer that is, absolutely, you'll have to provide the section that you're looking at, and we'll have to, just by due process, the process that we go through is we will share that with the police department, and they can investigate it. Just give us the section that you're thinking about.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. We'll go to the next item, 2.2. Request for light on pole number 6331, Greenacre and Winchester.
Move to authorize the Traffic Division to investigate and address the request for streetlights on pole number 6331, Greenacre and Winchester.
Motion made. Is there a second?
Second. Aye.
Okay, great. So we'll open it up for discussion.
Okay, I live here on Winchester.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to have street lights, one there and one down on the corner of Olin and Winchester. And we had a storm. They were taken down for what reason? I have no idea. But now it is very dark here. And I got people, neighbors, asking me to leave my lights on all night because I have walk lights and pillar lights out there. And I try to keep them on, but they go off automatically around midnight. But it would be very nice to see them lights come back on those two poles.
See, thank you for attending and contributing. Do you remember about when, just throw it out there, when the lights?
It was, I think it was the storm Carol. We had a lot of trees down and everything. There were trees down all over on this area here. And for what reason they took that, I think the lights got hit and then they took them down, but they never came back to put them up. There must be a record of it someplace. And can I interject anything else onto this?
Oh, sure. If you have something to add, please.
On the corner of Greenacre and Winchester used to be a stop sign. Okay. Years ago, it goes back quite a way, but I saved a gentleman's life. He got hit head on that corner, and his name was Russ Choate. I don't know if anybody there knows him. And he was in pretty bad shape. But the fact is, we do not have that stop sign. They never put it back up. but yet there was a stop sign there. And I would like to see it back up because they come down here way too fast with kids around.
Are you talking at this near the, I'm sorry, where was the address you were talking about? Or the area?
The address of where the stop sign used to be was on the corner of Greenacre and Winchester. It was right by the fire hydrant. There's a fire hydrant there.
So on the agenda, maybe you can educate me. We're looking for a street light at the moment, right? Isn't that what you requested?
Yes. Right.
At the same location?
Yes.
Okay. So the motion on the table is to request that the traffic division look into this. Lieutenant, I don't know if you have an update for that or if this is something we need to put on the agenda for a follow-up for the next month.
For specifically the street light or the one that he just mentioned about the stop sign?
No, the agenda item specifically for the street light.
Well, I was actually glad that he was present during this meeting because we did look through our in-house system to look for accidents and things like that. So we were actually trying to figure out why the not the stoplight, why the street lamp was being requested. And now it's a little more clear to us that it just used to exist. So is it more of, like, we haven't really had accidents in that area. So is it just that the neighbors, like when they're walking around, or is it when they're driving through the area?
Yes, well, we've had several bad accidents on that corner. Like I said, I saved the man's life on that corner right there, right by the fire hydrant.
So the same.
This goes back some years, but if you ever see them go around that corner, it's terrible. They need to put a stop sign there. If it helps, I don't know.
So just as a, just pardon me, the item on the agenda is the request for a street light at the moment.
Yes.
Right. So I think that's what the lieutenant is addressing. He's trying to do some more fact finding. Correct?
Correct. So as you mentioned, if there used to be a stoplight there, we could definitely look into seeing if one could be replaced, because in order to get a new, I keep saying stoplight, I apologize.
Okay.
In order to get a new street lamp up, that is a cost that the city incurs because the city pays for electricity and the mounting of it and all that. But if you're saying one used to exist, it is more possible that one could be reinstalled. But when we were just looking through our data in general, it didn't seem that just putting a brand new one there was necessary.
Well, I wish I could get the rest of the people here in this area to confirm what I'm saying about how dark it is. If you come up here on a dark night where the moon or nothing's out, it is really pitch black.
Well, one thing we could do, we as a traffic division, we could go up there during an evening hour and kind of do a neighborhood canvass and actually go out and speak to the neighbors to just kind of get a general consensus. Just to see how big of an issue or how big of a desire it is for the neighborhood in general.
All right. Well, like I said, there used to be 2 street lights, but they were removed, never put back.
So the good news is there will be some history. Lieutenant will look this up to see if, the lights were there, or to confirm the lights were there, as well as any accident history. So obviously there's a little more work to be done, which is what we have as a motion on the table at the moment.
Yes, we'll definitely be looking into it more. I was basically making a general statement that we didn't see any recent accidents there that would allow for
Well,
us to just, put in a new one, but we will look in to see if exactly what you're saying. If there was one previously there, we could certainly look into what was the reason it was taken down to begin with, and that might actually add some clarity to the whole problem.
And Mr. Gata, just for your reference, just so you understand the process, I don't know how often you come to our city meetings at all, but it's definitely a process. We have it on our agenda. We discuss it. We authorize the traffic division to do their investigative work. And if it comes up that the street light is recommended, it comes back to this committee. Because it is an expense to the city, we have to understand the reasoning for it to be in place, and then we'll vote for or against. And then we can also discuss a stop sign if that doesn't work. Just wanted to give you the process so you understand what's happening.
all right. I mean, if I could go, I might be able to find pictures of it years ago. So
I don't think you need to do that. I mean, you can certainly do that, of course, but the traffic division is able to look up historically, and Lieutenant, correct me if I'm wrong, but definitely is able to look up historically the history of that area.
Correct. It'll be very easy to locate
Right.
when it was taken down. But as I mentioned, John's your name, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, John Gata. Yeah.
Yeah, as I mentioned, I was actually happy that you were on this call here, this Zoom meeting, because now we understand a little more details of the reason we were looking for the light.
Okay. Oh, the other reason, I don't know if I should mention it, there was another reason why the street light went up years ago was because it was used for an area of parking down there. And it's a dead end. Green Acre dead ends there into the woods. Again, very dark. It's a very dark area.
Well, like I
But
said,
anyway.
oh, no, that's okay. Like I said, this will be kept on the agenda, and Lieutenant will do his role in what the traffic division does and investigate, and we will revisit this again.
Okay. Just one thing, when they do come, call me, because I'll turn my lights out.
Is there any other discussion on this topic?
No.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is there any opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Thank you. We will go to the next item, item 2.3, request for light on pole number 6334, Olin and Winchester.
Move to authorize the traffic division to investigate and address the request for streetlights on pole 6334, Olin and Winchester.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Is there discussion?
No, it's just the same issue.
Okay. Lieutenant?
Then again, I had the initial same response prepared for this poll as I did Green Acre and Winchester, that it was based on recent accident activity in the area. So we were trying to see if it was just because neighbors thought it was too dark when they were walking around, or if it was actually because of a speeding issue or what it was. So we will actually have to look into this poll a little more.
Okay, I appreciate that. Now, we've had a few accidents right there at that corner. You know, a kid got hurt on a moped, scooter, whatever it was, car and a moped. So, but it's. I mean, we've got quite a bit of activity around here, and it's just that it's been an ongoing issue. That's why I got involved. The neighbors have called me, and they made me the leader of the pack.
Spokesperson.
Yes.
Well, we appreciate that.
Okay, and I asked other people to join with me, and they refused. So I just
That's
wanted
okay.
to let you know.
Well, that's okay, because, you know, you're getting the job done. So
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm done.
we don't discount it just because you're the only one on here. We appreciate your input, and we will look into this.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Is there any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Being none, motion carries. Okay. Mr. Gaeta, thank you very much for attending. You can certainly listen to the rest of the meeting, but I completely understand if you want to get back to your family.
Okay.
We're going to go to old business, 3.1, speeding on East Village Road and Beersley Road. And we are just looking for an update. That's it. There's no motion necessary.
Okay, currently, East Village does have one of our speed box on it. It's near Shagbarks. We're actively collecting data on that still. And it goes back to the initial thing I said about the schools. Very soon, the traffic division is going to be able to take a proactive measure ourselves to actually be on this road and do the radar enforcement. So it's not just going to be the boxes collecting the data. We're actually going to be out there doing it. We do have patrol that does, patrol up and down this area, East Village Road and Beardsley, sitting on the side roads. But in the future, over the summer, there is going to be more actual enforcement on these roads.
Okay, perfect. So I'm actually going to keep this on the agenda simply because there really hasn't been an update since the last meeting, simply because of the facts that you state, the school, and we understand. So we would just like to see the reports, next month.
Sounds good. Will do.
Perfect. Okay, we're going to move on to item 3.2, update on Coram Avenue at Hill Street. So again, we're just simply looking for an update. There's no motion to be discussed.
At the last meeting, Sergeant Sithinger did mention that the state did not necessarily approve, but they didn't have a recommendation for the four-way stop sign. So then we looked in further to maybe raise crosswalks on a separate recommendation. And I actually went with Sergeant Sithinger to check out different locations that had raised crosswalks. And it seemed like a good idea. So to move forward on it, we actually do have a meeting scheduled with the mayor within the next 2 weeks that we're going to present the ideas. So at the next meeting, we'll probably have more information. If this is something that's going to go through. There's obviously the construction of that apartment complex that's still happening. So we're trying to see even if something did get approved, when it would actually happen to work. But next meeting, we will have that information.
Can you talk a little bit about how, just help me understand how the construction at the apartment complex impacts this location from a perspective of the four-way stop?
Well, the four-way stop recommendation that we had the traffic study done, that was based on number of accidents and at the location. It has to reach a certain threshold for them to put it in. So, it is possible that after the apartment complex is in, you never want to see more accidents actually happen. But sometimes if you put stop signs in places, it actually could cause more problems of, people blowing the stop sign and the other person just thinking the other person's going to stop. And then you end up with T-bone accidents when your initial idea or problem solving was, hey, we're going to put in a four-way stop sign and everyone's going to stop at these and no one's going to be speeding through this intersection. And unfortunately, that's not always the case.
Right. Okay. That's helpful. Does anybody have any comments or questions for the lieutenant?
No, I don't.
Madam Chair, Mike Maglione here.
I'm good.
Go ahead.
Okay. On the raised crosswalk, when this was brought up, and it was several months ago, one of the items that was a negative was if this was a primary route for emergency vehicles, that it was not recommended to be done. And this is a primary route for EMS getting on the highway to go to Griffin Hospital.
Good point.
Well, when we looked into it, they're not actually like speed bumps. Emergency vehicles should still be able to go over them. I mean, as it is, even though the emergency vehicles, they shouldn't be necessarily going excessive speed down the road anyway. So you'd still have to just slow down through the intersection, which any emergency vehicle typically does anyway.
I don't think it's a matter of going over the bump in speed. I think it's the matter of a patient in the back of an ambulance having any kind of a bump while they may possibly be having treatment.
I agree with that. I've been in an ambulance and hit a speed bump, and I tell you, it wasn't a very nice situation. So.
I just bring it up because that was one of the recommendations in the pamphlet that was presented, that if it was a major route for emergency vehicles, that it was not recommended.
Okay. We'll
So,
definitely...
as I say, just bring it up. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Maglione, and absolutely, Lieutenant, bring that to your meeting, that discussion. Please.
Will do.
Is there any other discussion on this topic?
No.
No.
Great. We'll move on to item 4. That's status updates from the police department. We have no items. So we'll go to item 5, report of the emergency services. You'll see in your packet, we have from the Shelton Police Department, their reports for a few months. And does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns?
No, I reviewed them, and no, I don't have any questions.
I agree. I reviewed them too. They seem pretty straightforward.
Perfect. Okay, great. We will move to the next item, 5.2, emergency medical services. Again, you have your reports in your packet from both VEMS and Echo Hose. Are there any questions, concerns?
No, I was reviewing the statistics, and I have no questions about that.
Okay.
Same at this end. I concur.
Okay, great. Next item is 5.3, fire services. In your packet was a report from the chief. There was another one sent, I'm not sure if it was yesterday or today. You may or may not have had time to review that. You can certainly take that time now if you haven't. And if so, just let me know if you have any questions or comments.
No, I don't. They seem pretty busy. That's all I have.
They're definitely busy. That's for sure.
They're definitely busy. Yeah, that's my comment.
All emergency services are busy.
Yep.
Okay. The next item is 5.4, the fire marshal, and the reports are in your report. I think they're through February. So just let me know if you've had time to review and if you have any questions, concerns.
No, I have no questions.
I have none either.
Okay. Next item is 5.5, Office of Emergency Management. We are blessed with the director in our presence, and he has provided us our reports. So please make it worth his while and ask him a question.
Well, I think they've been real. I don't really have a question. I just want to commend all you do, and you know, the vaccine setup and distribution and everything else that you did at the schools and things like that. Thank you. Like Noreen said, this has been a busy season for anyone in healthcare or emergency management.
Yeah, it's been very busy, and thank you for your thorough reporting and also for showing tonight.
Thank you.
I thank you too.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Okay, with Mike, is there anything you want to add that we missed, or?
No, we're good. You were very right about our emergency services. Echo Hose Ambulance last month had their busiest month ever, 523 responses. The fire department.
Unbelievable. Wow.
Yeah, it's just
Nonstop.
Yeah, absolutely nonstop. There are times that there are 4, 6, 7 calls coming in one right after another.
Yeah.
We're lucky to have everybody that's on the teams. That's for sure. We're very lucky.
Yep. Okay, great. Well, that concludes our meeting, and I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion made.
Is there
Can
a
I
second?
ask a question?
Who is that? John?
Yes. On this Zoom link, are you people on the Zoom link itself?
Yes.
So you could see each other?
Yeah.
Those
some of
who
us
are using their camera, correct.
Huh. Well, I couldn't. I tried every way. I can't get on there, so just want to let you know that.
Oh, that's okay. You're here.
I'm here. All right. Thank you for inviting me, and I appreciate it, and I hope we can get some of these things resolved.
You bet. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? All right.
No.
Motion carries.
Take care.
7:43 p.m. Take care, everybody. God bless.
You
Bye.
too.
Okay.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye.